I would say he should be very worried, yeah. He should be. As you know, they're negotiating with us. And look, that country's a mess right now because of us. We went in, we wiped out their nuclear.
So that's the question. If we wipe them out,
we have peace in the Middle East. If I didn't take out their nuclear, think of it. If we didn't take out that nuclear, we wouldn't have peace in the Middle East because the Arab countries could have never done that. They were very, very afraid of Iran. They're not afraid of Iran anymore.
So here's the latest this morning. The president issuing a fresh threat against Iran. Crude prices easing, though, as both sides confirm talks this coming Friday. Bloomberg's Tyler Kendall joins us now for more. Tyler, welcome to the program. I think a lot of this has been confused over the past week. I want to get back to basics. What's the objective for these talks in the next 24 hours?
Yeah, hey, John, good morning. Well, it depends on who you ask because it appears that both sides have been trying to shift the format of how these talks are going to take place. We know that Iran has now asked for these discussions to be in a bilateral format focused solely on its nuclear program, as President Trump went on in that interview to say that the U.S. has caught wind that Iran is trying to rebuild after those strikes that we saw last year. With that said, the U.S. wants these talks to expand beyond that. They want this to also include Iran's ballistic missile program, as well as its support for proxy militia groups in the region. And we heard from the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, yesterday, who said that those top issues have to be on the table in order for there to be real progress. Now, with all of this said, as you heard, President Trump is maintaining that all options remain on the table, even as we see diplomacy moving forward for now. But I will point out that our own analysts at Bloomberg Economics assess that they see a U.S. strike on Iran as highly likely and that these talks could really just be a stalling tactic. John, with that said, though, they also say that while the oil markets are watching this closely, if the U.S. does follow through with military action, that doesn't necessarily mean that we will see a disruption when it comes to oil flows because there is just so much of a range of possibility on the table of what the aftermath could look like, including whether or not Iran retaliates in a symbolic way, for example. So, John, with this said, at this point, anything could really happen.